Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Darla Lucian of Darla Lucian Studios, and today we are going to make envelope folios. I am ready to get into my fall colors. I just can't wait. My fingers are just anticipating. But before we get started, I'm just going to ask you to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get early, right away access to the videos when they go live. Comment, let me know if you're working on some fall stuff yet. If you've ever tried a letter folio, these are fun to make and you can use them with new envelopes or junk envelopes. What's your preference? I'm curious about that. And share with other crafty people and let's keep this inspiration rolling. All right, well, I am really excited to get into this. I have two little projects here that I've been working on. I have this one kind of planned out, which we'll do together, and then you'll kind of see me do the finishing touches on this one. As you can see, I still have the edge gluing. So we'll just put it off to the side and I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so I wanted to kind of show you a little bit about my process. And so these are kind of the finishing touches, so I'll put them off to the side. So I took some white envelopes and then I covered them with book page. So you can see it's just kind of a collage. And I like how that looks. Oh, and I just realized I need to grab my ink. I'll be right back. All right, talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Figured I better grab this too while we're there. All right. So, the fun thing about these is that you can use up scraps and bits. So there's vintage book as well as new. Kind of a mix. I like the look of the mix. I just like the different font sizes and page colors. The aged stuff gets really nice and yellowed and looks pretty cool. So what I did, just to kind of have an idea, I did 3 envelopes like that, and these are a bit larger, and then I have this one that I got in a mailer, which is just slightly smaller, and in the back flap of these bigger ones is a triangle flap, whereas this one is just kind of a shorter, kind of almost a rectangle shape. And so the reason I left this one blank is because I wanted to show you kind of my process of how I collage. And I didn't want you to have to sit through all of it, but I wanted to do something special with this one. So you will get a chance to see that. All right, so first things first, I wanted to edge this one with a little strip of paper. Whoops. I'm losing all my bits over here. I had some different, I have my fan on and so everything wants to fly away. All right, so I have this this is really thin, really old. I think it was construction paper maybe, or maybe copy paper, but it is crumbly and old and lovely. And so I thought, okay, I like how this looks, and I like that edge. See? So what I think I'm gonna do is, where's my ruler? Here it is. That's the problem with a clear ruler. I mean, they're nice, except for when you're trying to figure out where the heck it disappeared to on your desk. I'll put it in its spot. That'll help me find it. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to cover this flap and make it a pocket. So I need to do that before I glue these down. And so let's just get out my, let's not crumple that too much. Okay. All right, glue, book, and this is just the guts of an old book, and I like to use it as a backdrop for all my crafting. So you can see I've punched holes using that as the back, or I have Chesto pens on there and gluing on there too. So these end up having really interesting texture when you go to use them later, as you can imagine. All right, so I'm going to put this right like so on this side, and then turn it over and cover over here. Alright, am I going to get the nice curve here? We'll see. I'm kind of doing a weird thing here to get the curve in. There. It kind of broke a little, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Okay, and then let's pull a little bit of that off because that's just overhang. You know what? I think I'm going to snip that with scissors because this is really soft. Alright. Cool. Alright, so this was flap 4, which goes on to number 3. I hope I have this the right direction. I might have just changed the direction of my opening. I did. I put it on the other side. Oh well, I guess we're opening it this way now. Alright, so now I want this to be a possible pocket here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down here and then glue up there with using the tacky glue. I use the glue stick for the other because it's not that big a deal, but this needs a little bit more glue. And so you don't want it to be completely, well, this one actually can be completely flush because it's the last one to go in, but with each progressive envelope that you add, you need to give more space at this fold to allow for the bulk to be folded in, because we're rolling this up. It's not like going to be back and forth like an accordion. It's going to be rolled. Alright, so now I'm going to go like this and try to get it as even as possible here. Alright, and I got a little excess glue, so I am going to rub that off. Gluey fingers, painty fingers, and also inky fingers. So that's kind of how that goes. Alright, so now you see how that looks. So it is a little bit of a different look because instead of waiting till I've attached it to collage, I've actually left the envelope flaps blank. So it just kind of gives you a break in the pattern that's happening. Alright, so that was 3. Now 2 is going to be this one. And so I am going to glue this down first, and I'm going to use tacky glue for this, and then I'm going to collage on here, and then we'll decoupage on that napkin that I had, that you might have seen at the very beginning, and then we'll worry about getting on this next one. Alright, I think I overdid it over here too, because this is a little bit shorter envelope, but you'll get an idea to see just how it looks as we build up the different layers to get that look, which is so wonderful. Okay, so this one's going to go out just a little. Oh, actually, it's fine. Good. Yeah, so I'm leaving just a little bit more of a gap here. I'm going to leave a little bit more of a gap, actually. Tacky glue is so forgiving. I'm going to actually turn this way so I can really control how I'm doing this. All right. I want about 1/8 of an inch there now, and then the last one I'll do like a 1/4. Okay, so here we are. That can just kind of fold out of our way. Alright, so now it's on to putting book page shreds on there. So what I did is I just took old books, I ripped off the white part, I saved that for stamping or whatever, take, you know, a little bit out where the text block is, and then I tore up tons of these while, you know, my family was watching shows together, and then I just inked around them, and then I just threw them all in this big bucket. So I have tons of these little paper shreds, so it makes it really easy to collage with them really quick. So you see, like that. Alright, so now let's just start layering it down. So let's do that. So just with glue stick, that's all you need. Just, you know, get it real nice and gluey though, and just start putting stuff on. Some have more straight edges than others. Some are, you know, kind of maybe work in a corner better. I'm not going to cover it as completely as the other pages were, because I want this one to have a little bit of a different look, a unique look. The envelope is a little bit different, and then we're going to also decoupage a napkin on this one, so that's a little different. So yeah, all said and done, we'll just make this one stand out a little bit. So we're going to do it similar but not the same for variety. The one tricky thing about book page stamp pads or glue pads are that eventually it gets really gluey. So just have to be careful that when you're doing it. Oh, and it's hot here in Canada, so my glue stick is just wanting to warp and melt. When you're gluing, the old book pages do not handle being stuck down over here very well. Wow, that is just wanting to come off. All right, let's just smear that around. And so they might tear, which, like the old glue pages, the old book pages might tear because getting too gluey. So I kind of try to go in different places here and get right to the edges. Works best that way. Let's try turning this a different way. Good. That's looking fun. I find doing collaging so therapeutic. I don't know about you, but I just love it. It's so much fun. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, this is definitely modern. I think this is even printer. I don't even think this is book page. But you know, it's an eclectic mix, as they say. And allows us to bring to life some of the old pages that have been, you know, in books that are no longer loved on. And we can experience revitalization being part of an art project, which I think is so cool. All right, how are we doing here? Put that one over there, maybe. Oh no! Fold it over on me. All right, let's see what we do. Up there. Ugh, so sticky. So what I did when I was inking is I kind of just looked through and I saw which side had more consistent writing on, and so then that's the side I chose to ink. I mean, some doesn't make too much of a difference, but sometimes it actually just, you know, I like it when there isn't so many gaps like that. I mean, I guess it's not a huge deal, but oh, see here, it would be nice if the rip was the other direction. Oh wait, that's covering too much. Anything? Okay, you know what? This one's getting a little tear. I'm going to just re-ink that side. And I'm going to give it, look at that. So just a little left. Let's see what else we have here. Still trying to keep it so it's doing different fonts and different directions and different colored papers, just for interest's sake. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I inked around these ones, but these other ones aren't inked around. So it does, you can see that the look is a bit different. These are more defined pieces, whereas this kind of all blends more. You know, either way works. You do you, as they say. Put that there at the end, which means I need pieces for in here. Alright, so we just have some small bits there. And let's see what we got. Maybe we need to refresh from here. A little bit like that. Maybe that's fine there. Alright, and then this one here, huh? That's what we had talked about. Alright. Good. So I'm just going to throw my little scrap bits back in my bucket here for when we're doing another project. Okay. So next I wanted to decoupage the napkin on. Now, let me just think about this again. Sorry I went quiet there because my head is still thinking this all through. So this is going to be the very back. And so when I fold, okay, why are we not folding here? Oh, it's already so fat. Okay, so that's good to know already. I need to make a new fold spot on number 2 flap. I labeled them with pencil. I don't know if you can tell, but that just helped me to keep track of where we're at. Okay, so then this comes over. Let's cut off this little bit of paper that wants to be ornery. Don't think to save that tiny scrap. Oh, I usually save all my scraps, but not when they're minuscule. Alright, so here's our 4th flap, and then this comes around in here. And then that comes, okay. That's pulling away there. So let's give this one a new fold as well. Right there. See if that'll help us out. Alright, so like so. Yeah, that's better. Which means that this is where this needs to decoupage, and it needs to decoupage in this direction. You see? It was important to know that. And so then this can go across the flap to the back. Also, that's what I needed to know. Okay, so that means that we want to attach this first. Okay? Which way's the flap? Good, good. So now I'm just decoupaging. I'm just putting glue from the new fold line up, because we don't need to have glue where the envelope isn't going to be. Alright. So still double checking to make sure I'm in the right spot. And there we go. Like so. Alright, now double checking to make sure. Oh. Let's get that glue off there before I set this down. Alright, yeah. Looking good. Okay, decoupage time. So again, we know we want to have it on here and then going over to the back. So I do like this, but I want to have kind of a raw edge to it as opposed to like such a finished edge. So I'm going to tear a few little bits off the, see, that part's good. Could maybe do something with some of those bits later. We'll see, I guess. And around this little spot here. Okay. Oh, bottom. I'll do something with the bottom too. I don't want to take off huge amounts because it barely covers as it is. It doesn't cover the whole thing, it just covers parts, so I want to make sure I'm not losing too much of the pattern. I love this napkin. I don't know where it came from originally, but I got it gifted in a journal I was given. There was a whole bunch of stuff. I was involved in a journal exchange, and it was so great. We had so much fun. We did, we made journals for each other and then exchanged them, and you know, included a bunch of little extras for each other. And it's fun to exchange napkins because you know, what you might find might be different than what I find. I just erased that number because I didn't want it to show through. Alright, so now I'm just going to kind of put this on here. I want more on this middle one because that'll be the front, but not too far over because remember that the closure is going to come here. So about there looks good to me. So first I'm going to flip this up and just kind of put some glue down there. And I'm just using the Oohoo glue stick to do the decoupaging. Couple reasons for that. First reason, it's a lot less messy than using Mod Podge and tacky glue and it has a quicker drying time. It is just as secure and for this kind of a thing, and doesn't leave it sticky later like Mod Podge does, or shiny like tacky glue can. So those are my reasons for using the glue stick as my decoupaging agent here. So now I'm just gonna give it a nice moving from the center always, so that you don't have any wrinkles. I mean, if you get wrinkles, I guess that's just part of the charm, but I really want it to just lay flat because with this kind of a, I'm just going to put some on top, just kind of like decoupaging. I want it to lay as flat as possible just because it's a letter folio, so it doesn't have really the width to expand that much. I mean, we did give it some space to expand, but even so, right? So now I'm just going around on the edges just to make sure that they are going to be all tucked in. Okay. Now, it's never going to dry if it's that thick, but anyway. Alright. You know what? I actually don't mind that like that. Let's see. Can we give it a little bit more on this white bit? What can we do? Maybe some of this. Let's just, it's going to stick to my hands now. Alright, I need to probably get the glue off my hands a little. There we go. Okay. Maybe I will use a different finger. This is, it's fun to find these pretty patterns. I love finding all these nice themed napkins. Alright, so I was thinking about putting something here just to cover up that white area. So let's just see what we can do. Right on the fold there, just to give it a little more something, and we'll just go around the edges again like the last time. Oops. Come on, stay flat. And then there's just this little spot at the bottom here. And so, you know what? This part here could go on there, no problems. Let's do that. Let's bring these stems down a bit. Right? I'll put this one here. Give this one, I can match this up. It's like a, you know, drop and repeat wallpaper. Hey, have you ever had to use that? That was big back in the 80s wallpaper. It was so huge then. Alright, and then we have just this little one here. Let's give it a little bit more. Right in this spot. Like so. Curve it back a bit. Look at that. Looks like it was all meant to be together. In my opinion. In my humble opinion. Okay, you know what? We're not going to save these tiny little bits of napkin. I think we can safely say we used as much as we possibly could on this. Now I'm just going to come by and trim the edge on this. And it's easier if you turn it actually upside down. And then you can see right where your edge is. So I'm just going to... Oh, it doesn't want to cut because it's so wet. You know what? I'll probably cut it at the end then. Best to not mess with it because I don't want it to crinkle up on me. Alright. Now comes the fun part of decorating the rest of it. So I had a few different ideas. So on this side, what I was thinking is that I wanted to have papers, oh jeez, that's sticky now, papers to go on here. And so I had found a few things. I don't know how they'll work, but let's just try. So of course that brown paper I was showing you earlier, and then, come on, there was more. I know there was. This one, and, yes, that was for the floor. This one is for, okay. So I like these different ones. I think the skinny one will have to go on number 2. It'll look the best there. So then I want this other brown one maybe further away, or should we go like this and put the orange one here? What do we think? Like that? This is end pages from a book, and it's really quite thick, and I love the color of it, so I thought it would go really nice with this kind of autumn theme. And here's the thing, instead of trying to match in here, which works easier if you're doing a napkin decoupage, and you can just kind of tuck it in, paper is really hard to match. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to fill it all the way, and then I'm going to cut the edges of the envelope here to match. So let's see how wide we want to have this. This looks to be about, let's go 3.5 inches. That's what that looks like to me. Oh, 3.5 inches by, I guess we need the other measurement, don't we, as well? By, oh, we want to cover the whole thing, do we? Well, it looks like we don't have the choice here. Okay, but for everything else by 9.5. So 3.5 by 9.5. Can you help me remember that? Alright, so let's just cut our pages down. I'm going to cut this raggedy edge off, might as well. Use it for something else, some scrap collaging. And so that'll go on that one. This one can get cut down to 9.5, which puts me to where? Here. Okay. And then this one, let's cut this down to 9.5, and we're going to leave the raggedy edge on this side, and then 3.5 this way. Yeah, that's great. I don't mind the raggedy edge on this at all. So that's that one, that's that one. One last one, so how are we going to cut this one? Family, comfy, safe and warm. Let's go this way and cut our 3.5 here so we see what we're ending up with. Oh, that's still pretty good, I think. That's kind of what I was hoping for. And then this family is right there, so I don't want to cut that off if I don't have to, so let's cut through comfy. That's okay. Our family can know we're comfy without having to have that. Alright. So I think I'm going to ink around the edges of these, just because I like the way it frames it out and gives it definition. This is, it used to be Paper Salon Coffee Bean, and then I re-inked it with Distressed Ink Brown Espresso color. So it's kind of a blend. It's a bit darker brown. I like the look that it gives. I'm just going to double check if we're still filming. Yay, we are. Oh, I had a couple of videos I was working on yesterday, and the camera kept goofing up on me, so I don't know what it was, if it was just full, or if I was getting notifications, or what was going on there exactly, but anyway, whatever it is, it seems to have corrected itself now. Oh, look at how crumbly that is. Nice and crumbly, and I don't mind that, so I'm going to continue to just very carefully let it crumble. I don't want it to crumble apart, just a little tear at the edge looks fine to me though. And so what we're going to do with this is we are going to give it a little stiffness because I don't want this edge here will put pressure on this. So I'm going to turn this upside down and we're going to put a piece of, for it, old file folder on here, and that'll reinforce that. So let's just do that right now. So I remember what my plan was, because I like the crumbly edge, but I don't want it to crumble once I have it built together, because what's the point of having your folio in pieces in your hands? Alright, so now lining that up, and I want to make sure it's lined up all the way down. I can always trim the edges even if that's not even on top. Alright, and then okay, so that looks good. So let's just, I'm going to cut inside there just a little because it doesn't need to go all the way across. Good enough. Alright, and inking this one. You're probably saying to me, wait, you skipped over one, but that's just the one I grabbed. I remember there's still that other one. I love this orange color. Isn't it happy? Such a nice warm color. It makes me think of campfires, autumn leaves. Bonfires? Is that what it is? When it's summer or is over and you're ready to bundle up with sweaters and have a last couple of wiener roasts or marshmallow roasts outside. We live in Canada, so the changing seasons really matters when it starts to get too cold to go outside for long periods of time. Oh, that actually needs to be shortened a little bit more. I forgot this one was shorter, so let's just go there. Where's my... I do not have a pencil here. How is that possible? Oh, there we go. Nope. That's the one that doesn't have the end. Okay. I need to sharpen that one. That is really unhandy. Okay. Not handy? How do we say? Okay, I'm just lining it up on my paper shredder cutter. We'll save this little tiny strip. Who knows what we can use that for. I love scrapbook paper, and it's always hard for me to throw away even the most minute bits. Okay. So now, let's start by gluing these down. So we're going to glue, and honestly, one of the easiest things to do to protect your inside of your envelope from getting all gluey is to just stick your glue book page in there. You'll see I've done that in other videos when I've made these types of things. It's real handy. Keeps the glue from gluing the envelope shut, which is a little opposite of what we're looking for. Let's just try lining it up again. I had forgotten how much negative space I wanted around the outside. There we go. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll glue these all down first, and it is just glue stick, so it will glue fairly quickly. Dry, I mean. And then we'll be able to cut the papers down to size. Oh, geez, that is quite the glue gobber that just came off. It just scraped off. Oh, that just shows me I shouldn't be going back inside there so much. I'm gonna use up all my glue stick just for this project. Alright, so this is, like I said, it's just the Oohoo Blue Magic. It works real slick for some of these paper projects because, you know, for stuff like this, we know we're going to need some hold, but it doesn't need to be industrial strength hold, so glue stick is going to be just fine. Okay. So I'm not going up to the corners, but I am coming right to the middle because that's where my paper is going to be grabbing. And with Uhu, they say to apply twice to have really good strength. So I do that around the edges. I don't think anywhere else needs to be that worried about it, but for something like this, it's nice to have nice and secure. There we go. Awesome. All right, tucky tuck. Tucky tuck tuckerton. And then again with this, around the outside. And then fill it in. Alright. Yeah, it's hard to be thinking of fall today. I'm just kind of giggling about that because it is so warm here today. My glue is just so melty. So remember that we're putting this file folder reinforced edge toward the top here. Okay. Yeah, that looks lovely. Alright. So now let's start snipping. I'm going to turn it around just because I'm a righty. So we'll see if I can get in here to snip these. I haven't actually tried this before, so we'll see how well this all comes together. This may be easier to do this part, to glue these on, because you know it's on each individual envelope. It might be easier to do this before you glue them together so you can get a better angle. And I see this wants to come up here a little bit, so I'm just going to give it a little more right there. Alright. I'm going to come through and do all the tops, and then we'll see how I manage doing the other side. Alright. Actually, just tearing it off works good once you get to the end. So let's see. Alright, not so bad. But this doesn't want to stay very good. So I'm going to put just a little dab of the tacky glue in the corners of this. So I don't have to worry about this coming up when it goes to its new home later. Okay, continuing on. Alright. And there we go here. And then on this side. Oh, see, this one wants to come up too. You know what? So I think maybe because of the bendiness, it might just be good to go around the edges with. Oh, that's the part that wants to come off. So the reinforcer staying down. The crinkly bits doesn't want to. Interesting. Okay. Here we go. And last but not least, I'm just snipping along that edge to the edge, tear. That seems to work real slick, actually. It's so much easier this way than the way I was trying to do it initially. Okay. Alright, so all these little bits can be released to the ether. Alright, how are we doing? So, liking how that looks. Flip, flip, flip. There is our, oh, oops. Our big messy napkin there, and then this comes over like that. Okay, so far so good. Continuing on. Alright, so I like how these are, and I wasn't planning on doing a lot of decorating on this side so much. May come back to that. But I did want to put just some basic journaling cards in to the flaps. So I have, these are cardstock. So I was just going to make quick little journaling cards to go in here. So this will be the fastest journaling cards ever, because I'm literally going to chop them to the right size and then tuck them. So it looks like 3 by 8 for that one. Okay, what one do I want to use on that one? This, I think. Okay. Alright, where's that curly side? Let's get rid of that. 8. And then 3. Good. And then, because I like the look of rounded corners on my cards, my journaling cards, we're just going to quickly give this a little go around with the little punch. This is a Creative Memories corner rounder. I'm sure you can still get them, and there's all different kinds all over. And so here we go. Or just our plain journaling card can tuck in there. Now what color do we want for here? We want brown? Let's do brown. Okay, oh, but we have to remeasure that because this is the small pocket. So these other ones will be around the same size, which is going to be approximately, well, let's do 3.5. We'll see if that works. If it doesn't, we'll shred it down again. 3.5 by 8.5. Okay, well that makes this easy because this is 8.5, I do believe. Yeah. And then I said 3.5, right? So let's see. Corner round. So this is plain cardstock. That other one had kind of a weave on one side. It's kind of fun to change the textures up, but still keep them real simple. I wanted to, oh boy, I guess I'm going to get rid of some of that crud that's in my hand. There we go. Alright, I wanted to just kind of change up the textures a little bit because it makes it kind of more interesting. Alright, so that slides in there. That looks good. So we got 2 brown ones, different shades of brown. And let's put this, which way? This way in here. And again with a 3. So this is just made from cardstock, which I then stamped with an all-over pattern from one of my clear cling stamps. I don't even remember what that one is called. But, you know, use what you have. So it's my policy. So easy to go shopping, and of course if you want to, that's lovely too, but sometimes it's just nice to revisit old products and just see what you can do with them again. I think I'm going to ink the edges of this one just to make it stand out a bit from the background envelope there. Just give it a little definition. Obviously the brown ink is not going to do too much on the brown cards, so we won't worry about that. There. Yeah, see, that looks better already. Alright, a little quick tucky tuck. Oh. There's where some of my corner bits went. Alright, there, so far so good. Looking lovely. Alright, so now we don't need that one anymore, but we need this. 3.5. It's just kind of a taupe color. Alright. We get the corner rounding happening on this one. I think we'll ink this one too, just to give it a little bit more interest. We may come back and decorate these later. We'll just see. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're getting close here, so I think I might just decorate that part later. Alright. So, cool, right? that's done there. So then this side, I wanted to put a little bit of this on to cover the page. And so I think we'll just measure this out. I want it to cover it completely. So that's going to be 4 by 9.5. That's what I thought. Thought that's what these were. All right, so, oops, 4 this way. Now, these will be in my Etsy video coming up Sunday. So you can check it out there. I'll have the flip through. I'll have some other things too for you to look at, and have the other one too that is still gluing. You can take a look at it. They're really, really pretty. I enjoy them, and they add lots of extra space. Now I'm going to use glue, tacky glue, and because this is vellum, I am going to smoosh it with my finger a little bit. You'll see what I mean, because I don't want to have the bead glue line showing through the vellum. Not just wouldn't make me happy at all, if you know what I mean. Alright, so this is vellum, which is why we're not even bothering with the glue stick, because that's just going to pop off. So here we're just going to smush the glue down a little. Make sure we got a lot right by the edge. There we go. Just to get rid of the glue lines. I'll put this down. Oh, it's so pretty over top of the book page, isn't it? It really highlights the book page to me. Alright, and then I wanted to put this little one on here. I think I'm going to put it up a little so we can see that. Alright, and so in this case, since it is shiny book page, we're going to use tacky glue on this as well, and since we're gluing to vellum, right? Tacky glue is the best bet. I usually use either tacky glue or glue stick. Very rarely will use hot glue. I don't usually have it. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Don't usually have it plugged in, and so there we go. How nice does that look? Whew, love how that looks. All right, and here I had this idea to just, this is from a magazine. My fingers are all gluey, so I'm trying not to touch with the first fingers there. All right, I just thought putting this image here would be fun, and we can decorate the flap kind of individually that way. I just thought that would be kind of fun like that. I mean, we could go over, because it doesn't, it's glued down there. It's not like we need to be able to access over there. But there, that just gives it a little something there too. Alright. Oh, I wanted to put these on first. Well, I could still put this here. Or we could just use it as a tuck there. You know what? Maybe that's what we'll do. Alright. I think that is most of what I... Oh, no, I needed to put this on yet. So this is going to be my first flap. And I like the color of it. I like the richness of it. So let's give this a little try here. And then we're going to put a... I'm going to try covering it completely. So I'm lining up the fold line with the edge of the paper. And then I'm going to take my pencil and scribble along the edge here. It's going to make it just slightly bigger, but rather it be bigger and cut down than be too small, if you know what I mean. Alright. I thought this was bigger because it looks like my tip of my flap won't quite be in there, but we'll give it a shot, give it a try. I need to hold this a certain way so I can actually see the pencil on there. It shines when I'm holding it a certain way, and then the other way it's completely invisible, so that part is not